Hello, welcome to the Hypnosis Academy. Today I'm talking about names and badges. I'll tell you all about it on the other side. Names and badges. We love them. People love them. They love names and they love to be able to pin a badge on themselves and on other people. Example, my ex-boyfriend was a narcissist. Okay, badge pinned onto them. It's like a diagnosis from somebody, just because they've lived with them, they diagnosed them. Or badge, the doctor told me I'm bipolar. Yeah. So these are the things that we pin onto ourselves. Now, I was listening to a psychologist who was talking about when he first started and the number of things that they would diagnose, the number of diseases that they would diagnose. And he said it was something like nine different things. And now, he said, now there are just so many that you can't keep check. You can't keep check. So does that mean that psychology's got so much better now? And so they're able to diagnose more things? Maybe. Or maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. Could it be that psychologists and psychiatrists are the people who also offer prescription drugs? And for every disease there's a prescription drug. And every year the pharmaceutical companies bring out more and more mental diseases and the option of taking a tablet. And so I think what's happened is this, if you follow the money, everything is always about getting people medicated, right? And all of these names, for example, shyness, used to be just something that you had and you certainly didn't take a tablet for it. And now shyness has a name, and there's also a tablet you can take that doesn't take it away, by the way, doesn't get rid of it. It blocks it completely, or it blocks it in part, and then you become addicted to that, and then that's it. You can't get off it. And when you try to get off it, your life goes to hell when you come off it, because you're in deep withdrawal. And you think that it must be that your problem's still there, when in fact all it is that you're in withdrawal. So we're in a very strange situation where it's very easy to put a name on something. Do you know that here in the UK and in the US, you can go online and you can diagnose yourself and find out what tablet you should be taking? All you do is to just do a multi questionnaire, and it tells you what you've got. Yeah. So why do I not like labels? Well, there's a story about the person that says to the child, look, that's a flower. And as soon as the child hears the name flower, it stops seeing the flower and starts seeing the name. Okay. When somebody says to you, I am bipolar, then you stop seeing the person and you start seeing the name. Likewise, when the doctor tells you that you are bipolar or you have social anxiety, you stop seeing yourself and you see someone who has social anxiety. And every interaction that you have comes from the basis of having social anxiety. And so it's very easy to give names, but what they're not very good at is taking them away. It's helping the person to take them away. So what they'll do is they'll just stupefy you with something, but you still got it. They don't say, and we can cure it. No, they just say that's what you've got. Now, deal with it and take this tablet. Yeah. So I'm quite, and it might sound like I'm quite have a downer on that kind of that part of the world of medicine, and I do have a downer on it only because of the experiences that I've had with people. But people love to have a badge, and this is the problem. People are very happy to be given a badge. It's almost like a relief when they have a badge. Oh my God, I'm bipolar and I didn't know, and that explains everything. But it doesn't really. It doesn't really explain everything, and it doesn't take away anything. It only adds. It only adds. There might be initial relief to know, well, at least we know what it is. But after that, what's the answer? Just taking tablets. So that's why I don't like naming. I'm not qualified to name anybody anyway. I'm not qualified to tell anybody what they've got. I can have a really good idea sometimes, but typically it's not my job. And it's not our job as therapists. If you're an alternative therapist, it's not your job to tell people what they have. In fact, I would suggest that you'd never do it, because you're not qualified, and plus the person will believe you, and they will take it because you come from a place of authority. They will believe you, and they will start to behave in that way, and that's not good. I'll leave you with a little story. Just that I learned that lesson. When I was younger, I studied palmistry, reading palms. Fascinating. It's a science. It really is a science, like face reading and all of those things. Skull reading. So I was reading palmistry, and I learned how to do some basic stuff. I've dipped in and dipped out all of my life. I can read a palm in general, but it's been a while since I've done it. But I found out in palmistry how you could see whether somebody was going to become, lose the faculties in the latter part of their life. And that was hilarious to me. Oh, look, I can see whether you're going to go senile or not. And I said one day, I said to my auntie, let me read your hand. And I looked and I said, yeah, you see that there? What it means is that in the latter part of your life, you're just going to go, you're going to lose a lot of your faculties. And I laughed. And I left. I laughed and I left. And years later, she said to me, I'm so worried, Gordon, I'm worried about getting older because you told me that I was going to go senile. And I deeply apologized to her for doing that. And I felt very, very bad. And I don't know whether I was able to take it back. I told her that I didn't know what I was talking about. It was a load of rubbish. But it was already done. She already had that. And I don't know, about the self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, that's got a lot to do with it as well. What you expect often is what happens. And so, that was a massive mistake for me. And I learned a big lesson. Never tell somebody what they are. Don't tell people what they are, unless you tell them that they're good. But don't give them labels, and don't tell them, problems that they've got. Because it's only your opinion and you could be wrong. And also, even if it's true, when the person hears it, it reinforces it, and it can make it 100 times worse. So there we are. That's why I don't like names, and that's why it's not our job anyway. Our job is to make our client feel wonderful. That's our job. That's what a good therapist is. All right, I love you all. See you all later.